Could we be on the brink of a major shakeup in Canucks territory? Rumors are swirling about a key player potentially departing, and the clock is ticking down to the trade deadline. Fans, get ready to hold your breath, because this could change the landscape of our roster. With a standout season under his belt, you won't want to miss what comes next. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button to stay in the loop as we navigate this critical moment for our Vancouver Canucks. The latest news surrounding the Vancouver Canucks has certainly stirred the pot, and as a die-hard fan, I can't help but feel the weight of what's unfolding. Suter, who's been a reliable presence on the ice, is facing some uncertainty regarding his future with the team. Elliotte Friedman, a name we all trust for NHL insights, recently shared some thoughts that have left many of us on edge. According to him, negotiations for a contract extension between Suter and the Canucks aren't progressing well. In fact, he stated that both sides are not close to a deal, and it sounds like the road ahead could be rocky. This isn't just about numbers and contracts. It's about a player who's been a significant contributor to the team. Suter has already set a new career high with 16 goals this season, and he's on track to surpass his previous points record. That kind of performance is invaluable, especially as the Canucks are navigating a competitive landscape in the NHL. If the Canucks' general manager, Patrick Allvin, decides to trade Suter before the deadline, he could become a hot commodity. There are plenty of teams looking to bolster their depth, and Suter's recent form makes him an attractive option. But here's where it gets complicated. While I understand the need to make strategic moves, I can't help but feel torn about the possibility of trading Suter. He's become a key piece of this team, and he embodies the spirit of what the Canucks are trying to build. Do I think trading him is the right decision? Honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, the Canucks need to consider their long-term plans and the potential return they could get for him. On the other hand, moving a player who's been performing at a high level, especially one who's still developing, feels like a risk. And let's not forget about Brock Boeser and Carson Soucy, who are also rumored to be on the trading block. The stakes are high, and with the playoffs still within reach, Allvin has a tough balancing act ahead of him. He needs to weigh the potential gains of any trades against the immediate needs of the team. It's a delicate dance, and one misstep could cost the Canucks dearly in their quest for a playoff spot. The emotions surrounding these decisions are palpable. As fans, we invest so much into the team, and every player represents a piece of our hopes and dreams for the future. Seeing Suter potentially leave feels like a personal loss, especially given his contributions this season. I know I'm not alone in feeling this way. The passion we share for the Canucks transcends the ice. It's about the connections we form with the players and the journey we embark on as supporters. I want to hear from you. What do you think about the current situation with Suter and the potential trades? Are you in favor of the Canucks making bold moves, or do you believe they should hold on to their key players and build around them? This is a pivotal moment for the organization, and your opinions matter just as much as any analyst's take. As we look ahead to the March 7 trade deadline, the Vancouver Canucks find themselves at a critical crossroads, especially regarding Brock Boeser. The question on everyone's mind: will they trade their star winger? While there's a strong push for a playoff spot, parting ways with Boeser could be a gamble that backfires unless they secure a significant return. It's also important to note that potential trade partners may hesitate to part with impactful players unless they're unloading a bad contract. Boeser's current contract situation adds another layer of complexity. Recent comments from him indicate a lack of confidence in reaching an agreement soon. He expressed his loyalty to Vancouver but also acknowledged the business side of hockey. The three options, trade, extension, or nothing, hang in the air. And if nothing happens by July 1st, Boeser will become an unrestricted free agent. This uncertainty may very well push the Canucks towards a trade, and there are several teams that could be interested. Let's start with the Minnesota Wild, a team that seems like a natural fit for Boeser. Born and raised in Burnsville, Minnesota, he has always been linked to the Wild in trade rumors. With Kirill Kaprizov out due to surgery, they're in desperate need of offensive firepower, and Boeser would fit perfectly alongside players like Matt Boldy and Matt Zuccarello. In return, the Canucks could explore prospects like Liam Öhgren, who has been impressive in the AHL. The Wild would need to maneuver their salary cap, but they could make it work. Next up, we have the Ottawa Senators. Imagine Boeser reuniting with former coach Travis Green. The Senators are right in the playoff hunt and could use another scoring threat to bolster their lineup. However, the salary cap situation complicates things. The Canucks might have to take on a contract like Josh Norris's to make a deal viable. Norris has shown promise when healthy, and if he can return to form, he could be a valuable asset for Vancouver. The Tampa Bay Lightning is another intriguing possibility. This team, filled with stars, could definitely use the depth that Boeser brings. Despite their success, they lack scoring depth on the right wing. With over $6 million in cap space before the deadline, they have the flexibility to absorb Boeser's contract. In return, the Canucks might receive a second-round pick or a promising prospect like Ethan Gauthier, which could help bolster their future. The New Jersey Devils are also in the mix. They have a wealth of talented forwards, but have struggled to find consistency in their scoring. GM Tom Fitzgerald has expressed a desire to add depth, and Boeser could definitely help with that. The Canucks could benefit from the Devils' selection of young talent, perhaps getting a player like Dawson Mercer or even a high draft pick. Lastly, let's not overlook the Los Angeles Kings. If the Canucks are still holding on to playoff hopes, they might consider trading within the Pacific Division. The Kings have been underwhelming offensively, and Boeser could add the scoring touch they desperately need. In exchange, the Canucks might look for a young player like Alex Laferriere, or even a first-round pick, which could be a solid return. But here's the kicker. Would the Canucks even consider trading Boeser at all? They might opt to keep him as a rental player to help them push for a playoff spot. Boeser has expressed his love for Vancouver, and there's always a possibility of re-signing him if they decide to wait until July 1st. It's a tough decision, and one that could shape the future of the franchise. So, here we are. The next few days are going to be nothing short of thrilling, not just for Boeser but for the entire Canucks organization. General Manager Patrick Allvin is at a crossroads, and the decisions he makes will resonate with the fans for years to come. Do you think this was the best decision? Honestly, I'm torn. I can see the pros and cons of both trading Boeser and keeping him as a key player. And you, what do you think? I want to hear your opinions down below. How do you feel about Boeser's future in Vancouver? Should they trade him, or do you think they should try to work out a deal to keep him long-term? Hit me up in the comments if you enjoyed this analysis and want to stay updated on all things Canucks. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Activate the notification bell to get all the latest updates.